just the artist that I'm talking about. And the artist I'm talking about today is Bitter Belief. If you don't know Bitter Belief, then boy, what do I say about Bitter Belief? Perth sides, very close with Complete and all of the boys at the Psych Ward. Can be a very introspective rapper. Can also talk his shit as well. You know what I mean? He can bar out, but definitely one that when he's doing the more thoughtful stuff, it's definitely him at his best, in my opinion. We reacted to Beautiful Ugly, doesn't feel so long ago, and that's a solid fucking track with a really good video. And there's some videos here that I've not gone over, so yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, let's get into it anyway, man. With Bitter Belief's album, The Elephant Gifts, not The Elephant's Gift, The Elephant Gifts, we have a 10-track album. First track in. Who's listened to the project, by the way? Is this your first time listening along with me, or is it have you heard this? By the way, can I just say I love the artwork. Love the artwork for this.
See, due to the fact that I could grab a pad and pen and vent about all the shit I was seeing.
See, I like how he's open this. He's open with, rah, I'm not the same person I used to be. I don't have the same fire within me as I used to have.
I listen to Complete and feel the need to compete, cause I get envious and wish I was as good as him.
That's real shit right there. He's like, yo, I look at Complete, I look at what Complete's doing and feel the need to compete with him, feel the need to do as good, if not better than him. But I'll openly admit, like, I feel like he's better than me. I feel like when I look at within myself, it's just empty. Yeah, I like this so far. I'm fucking with this. I have the feeling I'm gonna like this project, man. I'm
severely tortured by thoughts that are more than scary, and I was always cornered by thoughts that I'm ordinary.
Listen to how clean the multi is, man. Cold intro, man. Great instrumental choice. Great use of I presume Skyuka's vocals. Great use of tone and how to set the stage for your project and what to expect. Gives us a window into the world that he's creating, and it's all being based around himself right now and his headspace and where he's at and how he's changed over time and what's been going on. What is he learning with time, you know? Yeah.
Can't help but feel like I'm on my back in the 12th round.
Who's this artist? Bitter Belief, bro. Bitter Belief is the artist with his album The Elephant Gifts. This is literally just the intro, man.
Told me I could only dream about the things my eyes had seen. So in observation I could.
This feels like an intro in its own right so far, and it kind of starts a very similar way. So the intro started with, I don't have the fire that I used to have, and now you're starting here like I'm looking on the internet for inspiration.
Tell you I believe we create the monsters we release into society. In observations, a few screws loose. Why don't you spend a minute on YouTube? This is the lose-lose choice.
If you don't think the world has a couple screws loose, then go and look on YouTube. Oh my god, yes. He's basically just talking about his perspective on the world, and I can't lie, 95% of the things he said so far, I'm with him.
Women shit. I just wish the mission was innocent. I just wish our leaders showed us recognition and care.
Again, how clean he is at fitting multis in. Like, what you get with some writers, especially newer writers, I was a victim to this in my first couple years of writing, is trying to fit as many rhyming words as possible into a short space of time. What Bitter Belief does is he can do that, but it doesn't come off, one, like corny, and two, he does it in a way that it actually fits into the bar. He's not just saying the 3-4 syllable rhyme for the multi just because he wants to show how many rhyming words he's thought of. It actually fits into what he's saying. Okay, so the whole time when he's at the workbench, he's been crafting the wings.
Let me spread my wings.
Excuse me, Jarvis? Forget Iron Man. We've got Steel Boy. All of that work, you could have just bought a Red Bull. Just tea. And I'm running out of sugar, so I only got 2 sugars out of 3. That's alright, I can work with that.
When I got that text and the tears that I wept left my face wet, I don't wanna.
The beat is very minimal at the moment, and Bitter Belief has such a strong delivery.
That's the kind of shit that'll dig in your ribs when there's nothing left to say except I guess it is what it is, but damn. And when I talk,
and it forces you to say it is what it is. there's nothing left to say other than, I guess it just is what it is. It forces you to accept it. And this is where it ended for the video, but I want to hear what the rest of the song has to say. It was an interesting choice to have the loud bit where he's nearly shouting almost, a part of the hook, as opposed to the more melodic, soft vocal side. I would have put that the other way around, but I think it was meant to be that. No, it should be that way around, because it builds up towards the end of the verse, and then that's the peak, and then the second half of the hook is where it tones down into the break, and then before the start of the next verse. No, it makes sense. It does make sense now that I'm saying it out loud. Solid track. I'll give it an 8. Yeah, sorry for people's losses, man. You know, everyone's lost someone, whether it be family or friends, and you know, you don't want to make it all about you, but it does affect us. You know what I'm saying? And then for people to go, I know how you feel. Yeah, we know how you feel, but that's not what you want to hear, because everyone's story is independent. Everyone has their own other things that add to the pot. So although we have that same ingredient, we might have different meals coming out. Cool, you've lost your friend, but then you've got everything else going on in your life. Or your mental health is at a different standpoint to mine. So we might both lose someone of equal importance, but how our lives are going might create the difference in how that dynamic goes. Some people lose someone and they're mentally prepared to, although it's not nice, and although you grieve, you're prepared for that, or you're strong enough to. Some people are in the position that when they lose someone, that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. That's the thing that they can't handle it, because, you know, get where I'm coming from. So yeah, man, that's an important song for people, I can imagine. Very important song.
Didn't know myself, couldn't be with no one else.
John Kavanagh, you have been at SBG Island, yeah, as well as being training MMA fighters. You have been practicing, my friend.
I tried to forget you.
I like that. When he went up an octave there, I like that.
Since I left you waiting on the ground floor, I'm not surprised you've been
what I want is probably more so in the second or a third verse, however long we go. Looking at the time limits, it will probably be second verse. I want John to do some vocal runs in the back whilst Bitter Belief spitting. Yeah, this track here, I like it a lot.
Think of all our memories and start to cry.
Yeah,
I thought that I was
think of all our memories and I've been there, bro. I've been there.
I thought that I was smarter than to keep the past alive. Should I let you go?
I thought I was smarter than to keep the part. I like this, man.
But every time you thought of me, you'd send a text, and all I saw was SOSs hidden in your SMS. And if I didn't...
All I see is SOS written in your SMS. All I can see is you crying for help in your text messages. Oh my...
I think of all our memories.
We like the whole second verse, man. This second verse is one of the hardest verses I've heard from Bitter Belief yet. Vocals, man. John Kavanagh, you are getting a message after this. My best song so far, instrumental vocals, but it's Jacob. You've literally just said what I was about to say. 9.5. Jacob's literally just said it. 9.5. The only thing that would have made that a 10 for me is one vocal runs. I know I'm being selfish here, but I don't care. One more vocal runs in the background, especially for that second verse, for Bitter Belief's verse. I would have loved that. And maybe one or two more quotable bars in the first verse. But that second verse is an 11 out of 10, man. That is one of the hardest verses I've heard in a while. Like levels, that is one of the hardest verses I've heard in a while. Too much, I'm gonna kind of slide through, but love this track. This is a great track. Them strings in the back, man.
Right now, but crazy is what you made me.
Hear it strong.
When you'd feed me lies.
Chazza, can you try to explain why so many artists say the industry is toxic? Why are people having so many issues? I think when people say the industry is toxic, right, there is a select few people at the top of the industry that are toxic. From my experience and from talking to people, from what I understand, there's plenty of good people in the industry, but it's ruined by the people at the very top. It's this pyramid scheme. The people at the very top are arguably the most toxic. That's what I'll say. I'll confidently say that there are good people in the industry also. From my understanding, it's the people at the very top that you know, want to stay there. This is so toxic, fuck this hip-hop shit. Yeah, but that isn't so much talking about industry. When he says that, that's hip-hop as a culture and how we perceive it and how we follow it. I talk about that in my album. I think some people aren't in it for the love. I think people are in it for business. Problem is hip-hop isn't a business. Hip-hop is a culture. Hip-hop is a love. If you want to go do business for business. Business can go on within art, but the art should always come first. You understand? So I think when Bitter Belief saying it, I don't think he's necessarily going to the industry. When he says fuck this hip hop shit, I think he means the culture and the misconceptions that come with it, and or maybe the struggles that come with being a hip hop artist. But I don't think that's necessarily just going at the industry.
You're dealing with something that's this toxic. Fuck this hip hop shit.
When he says fuck this hip hop shit, maybe he's saying like, because of the struggles I've got going on in my personal life, fuck doing this hip hop shit. Fuck doing rap. I'm not even motivated. I don't want to do rap no more. I think that's what he means. Again, don't know. It depends how you want to perceive it.
Man, feeling pretty good right now. Yeah, cause everything I've ever
Whew, I love the touch of jazz with the
ahead of the blind sheep, but better yet, I should never let
smooth, jazzy, like nightclub feel, you know, little subtle piano in the back there that was panned to the left. Love that.
shepherd a step ahead of the blind sheep. Able to let go, you'll be able to find peace. It's time that I dive deep.
If you're able to let go, then you'll be able to find peace. Love that.
I guess I'm horrified at all the sides I see. I speak truth, so they try to disqualify my speech.
He's still on the same syllable multi from when he said my ID, my IG. He's still on the same rhyming scheme.
I've learned I can only be as great as the space that my head is in, and so
he's just riding the instrumental and take. Yeah, I love. Yeah, he's in the pocket so clean. He's allowing the beat to breathe when it needs to as well. He's letting that brass section do its thing. It just has this smooth element to it. Like I said, it reminds me of like a nightclub. I feel like we've got like some 70s mafia settings or something. I don't know.
I'm trying to get used to loving life with a sober mind, but when I'm sober, you find I go into overdrive. That's when
the rhyming is just so clean. I keep getting distracted from the lyrics because how he's tying it in all together is so seamless. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you have 3, 4, 5 syllable multi rhyming schemes, people end up stretching really far to get the things to rhyme. His just sounds so natural back to back to back. I don't want to be the guy that just gives the really high, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to easily give high scores, but he's earned them so far, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I listen for again, obviously it changed. And these are my first reaction thoughts, by the way. Let's always keep that in mind. When I've listened to a project multiple times, that's when I get a bit more of a feel for it. But I've heard this beat before. Who's this produced by? Doesn't say. Oh, I'm gonna get copyright strike the shit out of this. Yeah, this stream ain't gonna stay up after it's done. So if you're here now, enjoy it while it's here. This WMG ain't gonna let my shit stay up.
Part of my reluctance, I guess that I'm nervous, not perfect, and reminded
that
by
guitar
all
work is so clean, by the way. This might be originally produced then.
When you better believe.
And I've been searching all my life trying to.
And you better believe, or better, but nah, he said better believe, but. Right, my man's out here barefoot. You are enjoying the sun on your toes, big man. Yeah, we're on cruise control at this point in the album, and I'm okay with that.
It's meaning a second chance. Now I don't question my destiny or the quest at hand.
So I like how he started off with a lot of self-doubt and a lot of lack of self-worth, and now he's getting to the point in the album where he's now starting to believe in himself again. So he's kind of had the introduction to his world, he's had a lot of downs, he's talked about a situation, I believe, with an ex-missus perhaps, and now he's at this point now where he's like, you know what, I'm feeling better now, like I'm starting to get there. I like this. I like how we've had a character arc over the space of the album.
Either your views are warped or they ain't even truly yours.
I like this one, man. I give it a 7 as an individual track, but it is important to the whole project. As a whole project, it's very important. It's not one that I would have done a video to, although it's fine to have a video to, don't get me wrong. Like, I would have loved to have seen a video for I Tried, but at the same time, that's just my personal choice. That's just my personal preference. I like how we've had a moment to breathe. You know what I'm saying? Because it has been such an intense album. These last 2 tracks have allowed us space to breathe. So although they haven't been the best, they're still solid tracks that add into the overarching narrative of everything. That's what I love. Love that. Mr. Perfect featuring Brianna Marin. Brianna Marin normally does vocals for beat makers on YouTube. Producer Yondo. Okay, Yondo is quite a popular American producer. Dope album. Yeah, man, I'm enjoying it so far. Massively enjoying it. And we're on track 8 out of 10 now with Mr. Perfect. Let's go.
Find someone better, even if that meant a regular Joe. But Joe, although I never
find someone better, even if it's a regular Joe, because they might be better for you than what I was to you. They might be better for you. That might be what you're looking for. Love that.
You're good with patience, so it fits that you became a nurse.
Yeah, you're good. Ooh, I like that. That's a good double entendre. You're good with patience, so that's why it makes. Wait.
Worse. You're good with patience, so it fits that you became a nurse.
So it fits that you became a nurse. So when you're a nurse, you take care of patients, but you had patience. You had the ability to wait for something. So it's only fitting that you. Yeah.
Really?
So obviously he's heard the beat and he's heard the hook on it already, and then what he's done is he's bounced off of that. She's saying he's Mr. Perfect, and he's like, what, why are you calling me Mr. Perfect? I ain't Mr. Perfect. I know you've seen me like that, but I'm not.
Well, that's on you.
Can't let you get away, yeah.
I like it. The only problem is where the vocals are obviously recorded mad differently and mixed already for Brianna. It sounds mad off from a mixing standpoint, but I like it in from the concept of it. I like it.
Never dirt, but I'm full of faith. I'm full of faith, but I'm full of hurt. I'm full of hurt, so I'm full of hate.
So over the course of the album, he started off opening about his self-doubt and lack of self-worth. Then he goes to this middle point where he's like, no, I'm feeling better about myself. And then losing grip is, I'm losing that though. I've buried that in the basement, but I can still hear the echoes of it.
I'm afraid that I'll never amount to what my mum said when she said I'm bound to be famous. So if it isn't expectations, then it's death threats in the text left waiting. If it says red, then I'm forced to face them.
And then he's just talking about the struggles that come with having people watching you, whether it be people saying that you're amazing and that creating the expectation of me having to deliver, or whether it's people sending death threats and hate comments and that getting to me. It's just a lot to take in. Can't fault any of the vocal. Yeah, A Bit of Belief has a versatile vocal delivery, man. I like it.
I'm full of rage, but I'm full of life. I'm full of love, but I'm full of pain.
Wait, so that is a flip of the second or third verse we heard. Because before he says, I'm full of... Wait, what is it? Wait.
I'm full of love, but I'm full of rage.
Yeah, before it was like, I'm full of hurt, I'm full of something, I'm full of dirt, and yeah. So he's flipped it. It's kind of talking from the standpoint of, I want to be able to have control of this, and I'm not giving up, but it's difficult. I'm losing grip. I'm still trying to grip onto it. I've not completely given up, but it's difficult to hold on to whatever this is. Reminds everyone he's only human. It reminds people that all of your favorite artists are still just human. Know what I'm saying? People that you look up to.
And I wish I didn't, but I care that my mind isn't anything like theirs. I guess this is life and I never did fight fair.
He really emphasizes it. I know I've talked about it so often, but his multi-syllables, he emphasizes them so cleanly. And he rhymes every syllable as well. If it's a 3-syllable multi, he'll rhyme all 3 together. I like the hook, and the hook acts and does what it needs to do. The hook doesn't grab me though. That's what lets this down. I'm giving this an 8. If that hook hit more for me, I'd give it like a 9. It's the hook that lets me down a little bit. But it does the job. It does the job, it just doesn't grab me, if that makes sense. I give that an 8.
But I also knew a guy who fought for his life till the second that he died fighting off the cancer. Well shit, that's got me just venting, cause shit ain't how it really appears. Now
this is one of them. I'm glad he has a longer outro here. Like 4 minutes is a reasonable amount of time, don't get me wrong, but this is one of them outros I could happily hear him go for like 8 minutes strong. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I should just say goodbye for good and wave you all goodbye.
I'm giving that an 8.5. That is a good outro. That is a very good outro. Yeah, rest in peace, Hunter. A good friend, a bit of beliefs. I've reacted to a couple of his tracks, but so we might do a Hunter episode one day where we just go through his music. Bit of belief talking about the message that was passed on. He's like, well, I never understood why Hunter hated the industry so much, why he hates some of this shit so much, and now I'm starting to understand why. It just rounds off his story so well. It summarizes and rounds off this project very, very well. Josh Johnson, going back to your comment from earlier, bit of belief, complete and husky on a storytelling track. Could cook up a crazy story. We've heard bit of belief and complete before. Complete and husky on a track, I can't imagine it, but this beat here, with a beat like this, I can imagine husky on. Yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna do something mad. I'm just gonna put this all in a calculator, right? Which is 7.95. So the average score is 7.95. So this averages out at an 8, basically. Yeah, this averages out at an 8. Sorry, I know I just completely zoned out for you, man, for a moment. Yeah, I'm gonna go with an 8 overall. I mean, literally, it's what I've written down the whole time. Wait, you probably won't see it very well, but literally, that is how I've written it out. Talking about his career and the struggle through personal demons, 100%, man. Yeah, this is a very good project. I like this, man. You know, I'm gonna live with this project for a little bit. I'll consider putting this up on my wall, honestly. I think I'm gonna get JK47s up here. I might get bit of beliefs up here as well. I really fucking like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna live with it and see if I grow with it. I think I'd have to grow with it that tiny bit more. Up on the wall, you've got to be a 9 or higher. You know, an 8.5 or a 9 higher. But yeah, definitely, I'm giving this a solid 8. I mean, the average score of the album is an 8, but I could give it an 8.5 for the simple fact of, yes, there are some songs like To The Edge, like Samsara, like Mr. Perfect that aren't the bangers of the album in my opinion, but what they do is they give the roller coaster effect to the album. They allow that downtime, they allow the positive message, they allow and add into and play into the character arc of Bit of Belief over the course of this project. He starts with self-doubt and should I continue this? Then he goes through all of the highs and lows he goes through throughout the project, and then he ends on, yeah, and after all of that, I still might say goodbye to you lot. I really like the overarching message that he's had here, and it is all around anxiety and questioning whether you're meant to do this or not. And can you, and as much as I want to do this, is it actually good? Is it corrupt at the top? Do I actually want the negatives that also come with the positives of being famous or being successful? Great fucking project.